Hello and welcome. I'm Ben from Digi Technical Support. In this video I'm going to show you how to enable shell access on a Digi router, including tracing traffic, viewing logs in real time, checking the firewall and creating a support report from the CLI. We'll quickly go through some really useful diagnostics that you can use to investigate issues before contacting Digi Technical Support. I've opened up an SSH connection to an IX30 and you can see there on the main menu there's an option for shell. This option doesn't appear by default, so you need to enable shell. We can do this in the Admin CLI or via the web interface. To do this in the web interface, go to System, Device Configuration, expand Authentication, Groups, Admin, and the option you need to enable is Interactive Shell Access. Change this to on and click Apply. To do the same in the Admin CLI, run the command config auth group admin ACL shell enable 1. After enabling that in the web interface or in the admin CLI, when you next SSH into a DAL router, you will see the S option to access the shell. Pressing S takes us to a hash prompt. The first thing I'll show you is how to access the system messages in real time. For this we use the tail command with a capital F, and the location we're going to access is var log messages. And what you'll see here is any messages that are going into the system log. This includes system messages about interfaces, users, configuration changes, and also, very useful, dropped packets. So that's packets that have been discarded by the firewall. When you've finished viewing the log, press Ctrl+C to exit. The next tool we're going to take a quick look at is a command called tcpdump. So the command we're going to use just to do a test is tcpdump -i to specify the interface, which can be any interface, -n for don't do any DNS lookups. We'll say -v for the verbosity. We're going to say that the protocol is ICMP and the destination host will be 4.2.2.3. I'm going to connect to the same device, select shell and just run a ping. If I run that from this shell session and scoot back to the original one that's running the trace, you can see there's packets being shown. So I'll switch tabs and Ctrl+C just to stop the pings. Coming back here, you can see in the trace, first of all, we've got the timestamp, then the interface that was used, ETH1. It's saying that the traffic was outbound, its IP, and then you can see the protocol details, ICMP, packet length, source and destination IP addresses. It's an ICMP echo request. So there's some really great debugging information there, so we can see the packets that are coming into and out of the router in real time. So this is really great for helping you troubleshoot any network issues. If you need any help on tcpdump syntax, use a Google search for example, or you could ask ChatGPT to create you a tcpdump rule to trace traffic from source address whatever to destination address whatever, protocol whatever, and it will give you the commands that you need to type in here. So really useful. Again, to stop this, we go Ctrl+C, brings us back to the hash prompt. Next, let's have a look at the firewall. We use the command iptables -l -nv, and this is the default table. The interesting points here are this is the input chain, so this is traffic coming inbound to the router itself for the router to take action on. So this is going to be terminated by the router, so it could be a SSH session coming inbound, or it could be a port forward that's coming into the router before being forwarded on somewhere else. So this has got some really useful information. We've got the packet counters, target policy, whether it's going to accept or drop the traffic. Then moving across to the right, we've got the protocol, the interface that the traffic is going to be allowed in or out of that's defined on this rule, the source IP address and the destination IP address. On the right hand side we've got some extra information there that the rule is going to match on. So for some of these you can see there it's got TCP with a destination port of 443 for HTTPS, and it also includes some zones that have to match as well. So those are the firewall zones. Because this is a lab router, everything from my source subnet within the lab, so 192.168.0.0/24 is allowed. That's not normally in there, so I've put that in. So to do some testing, we're going to add a rule in here to block some traffic. iptables -I, and we're going to add a rule to the input table We're going to match TCP traffic, and we're going to say that the destination port is 23, which if you know your ports, you know that's telnet. The telnet protocol is disabled, but the firewall isn't configured to block it. Log drop that traffic. If we have a look at the input table again, there's a new rule at the top that's going to log and drop traffic if I try and telnet to this IX30. So now not only will we see packets on the left hand side on the packet counters, we will also see messages appear in the message log. This is what you'll see if you've got traffic coming into the router and it's being blocked by the firewall. So press up a few times, tel -f var log messages, and what we can do here is put a pipe sign in, type in grep, and we're going to search for the word drop in real time. So now if I go to the command prompt and type in telnet 172.17.0.30, so you can see the command window, it is trying to connect using telnet, and in the bottom part of the window we can see that the telnet traffic has been dropped by the firewall, and it's also been logged to the messages log. So we can see that the packet's coming in, it's been dropped using the filter table, it's coming in on Ethernet 1, the source address is my laptop source address, the destination is the IP address of the IX30 itself. We've got some extra information there showing the source and destination ports, the protocol, and it's a SYN packet. So really useful debugging information. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of extra information about how to use the shell, how to access it, and how to use some really useful debugging commands that might get you a little bit further on before you need to contact technical support. If you do need to contact technical support, we will ask you for a support report from the device that you need assistance with. So using SSH access, you can generate the support report that technical support will need. We can drop into the CLI. This comes into the Admin CLI now. From here, we can type in system support report. We're going to give it a path. Now your options here, you can drop the file that's generated into the TMP folder. An alternative location, if you drop it into etc config/scripts and press enter, what that will do is it will generate the support report for you, but it will put it into a location where you can access that file from Digi Remote Manager. If you go into Digi Remote Manager, it will end up in the applications directory. If you're using an SSH tool like I have here, so I'm using MOBA Xterm, I can also browse the file structure on the left hand side. This is using SFTP, so I can go into etc config scripts, and here's the support report, and I can just choose to download that file. So a super easy way of being able to access support reports from the CLI. For more information on this or any other feature of your Digi router, please see the support pages at digi.com/support.